Have you ever been there? You're doing everything right. You're eating well. You're exercising. But that number on the scale just stops moving? It's that super frustrating plateau we're going to get into today, right here on The Explainer. We are going to bust the myth of starvation mode wide open and show you what's really happening inside your body.
So let's just jump right in. The number one fear, right? The idea that by cutting calories, you've somehow broken your metabolism, that you've done permanent damage. The story usually goes that your body freaks out, slams on the brakes, and just holds on to every last bit of fat for dear life. But is that really what's going on? Let's take a look. You know exactly what I'm talking about. You've been so disciplined, so consistent. You're seeing results and it feels great. And then, bam, nothing. The scale is frozen. This is that infamous weight loss plateau, and it's pretty much the birthplace of the whole starvation mode myth.
Okay, so let's trade in all that frustration for some actual facts. Because we're about to see that hitting a plateau isn't a sign that your metabolism is broken. Actually, it's proof that your body is incredibly smart and doing exactly what it's designed to do. So to really get what's happening with a plateau, we first have to get to know the two key hormones that are basically the managers of your appetite. So here they are, the two big players. On one side, you've got ghrelin. Think of it as the go signal. It's the one that makes your stomach rumble and tells your brain, hey, time to eat. On the other side, you've got leptin. Leptin is the stop signal. It's produced by your fat cells, and it tells your brain, all right, we're good, we have plenty of energy on board.
And these two, they're in a constant dance. They have this inverse relationship. When one goes up, the other goes down. It's this delicate push and pull system designed to keep your energy in balance, and honestly, it's absolutely essential for survival.
So, how does this whole hormonal balancing act actually lead to a plateau? Well, it turns out that what we call starvation mode isn't a malfunction at all. It's a really clever and totally predictable adaptation your body makes.
So let's talk for a second about your basal metabolic rate, or BMR. You can think of this as your body's idle speed. It's the energy you burn just existing, lying on the couch, breathing, thinking. It's the biggest chunk of your daily calorie burn, and here's the important part. It is not a fixed number.
And here is the aha moment. That hormone we just met, leptin, turns out it doesn't just manage hunger. It's the main conductor of your BMR. When leptin is high, it's a signal of abundance, so your metabolism hums along just fine. But what do you think happens when you start losing fat?
And here's the whole chain reaction laid out. You start a calorie deficit and you lose weight. Great! But as your fat cells shrink, they produce less leptin. Your brain picks up on this drop in leptin and thinks, whoa, energy is getting scarce. So to conserve fuel, it dials down your BMR. See? It's a feature, not a bug. It's an incredibly smart survival mechanism. And this quote from a Reddit discussion just nails the real-world result of this. You're convinced you're in a 500-calorie deficit, but your body, now running more efficiently, has slowed your metabolism down just enough to close that gap. And that, my friends, is the plateau.
And I really want to hammer this point home. This is not metabolic damage. Let me say it again. It's not damage. It's a normal, temporary, and reversible response. Your body is just doing what it's supposed to do to keep you safe.
This whole adaptation process goes deep, right down to the cellular level. Through a process called epigenetics, your cells literally start to change their own operating instructions to become more efficient in this new, lower energy reality. That's why your body seems to push back against weight change and why it takes time for your body to accept a new set point. But listen, a slower metabolism, that's only half the story. To really understand those super stubborn plateaus, the ones that feel impossible to break, we have to look at another piece of the puzzle. Can your body even get to its stored energy?
Nope, not even close. A calorie deficit is only half the equation. It doesn't mean anything if your body can't actually access its own fat stores for fuel. It's not just about calories in, calories out. It's about whether your body is metabolically flexible enough to use the fuel it already has. A disability is called fat mobilization. I want you to think of your fat stores like a bank vault that's packed with energy. A calorie deficit is you deciding you want to make a withdrawal, but you still need the key to open the vault. If you don't have the key, all that energy stays locked away.
So what's blocking the key from turning? Well, a few things can jam the lock. High levels of the hormone insulin, for example, can literally trap fat inside your cells, making it impossible to burn. Chronic stress pumps out another hormone, cortisol, which can do the same thing. And even being low on certain key nutrients can make it tough to access that vault.
So now your body's in a really tough spot. It's getting less energy from your food, but it can't access its own savings account of fat. What's the only option left? It slams the brakes on your metabolism even harder, which just leaves you feeling tired, hungry, and totally stuck. This is not a willpower problem, it's a biological roadblock.
Okay, so what does this all mean for you? It means we can stop trying to fight our bodies. It means we can create a completely new game plan, one that's based on working with our biology.
All right, let's wrap this up with the key takeaways. First, starvation mode isn't real. It's metabolic adaptation. Second, plateaus, totally normal and totally temporary. Third, a calorie deficit by itself isn't enough. You also have to focus on your overall metabolic health, and that means doing things that improve your insulin sensitivity and balance your hormones so you can finally unlock that stored energy.
This insight just changes the entire game, doesn't it? The goal is no longer to starve or punish your body into submission. The goal is to create an environment where your body feels safe and healthy enough to let go of that stored energy. It becomes a partnership, not a battle.
So I'll just leave you with this question. What if a weight loss plateau isn't a sign that you're failing? What if it's just a message? It's your body giving you feedback. And now that you understand the language it's speaking, you can listen, and you can respond in a much smarter, more effective way. Thanks for joining me for this explainer.
For more videos, subscribe to the InfoVoid.